Every legend begins somewhere. Sometimes not with riches or fame, but with a dream. Small, fragile, yet powerful enough to change the world. In a quiet corner of Brazil, a barefoot boy chased a ball made of rags, unaware that one day the entire planet would know his name. This is the story of that boy. The story of Edson Arantes do Nascimento. The world would call him Pelé. Pelé was born in poverty, in a small Brazilian town where dreams were often crushed before they began. His family couldn't afford shoes, let alone a real football, so he created his own, from old socks, newspapers, and string. It wasn't perfect, but when that little rag ball touched his foot, the world around him disappeared. For that boy, football wasn't just a game, it was a way out, a way forward, a promise of something greater. Pelé's father, Dondinho, once dreamed of glory too. He had talent, passion, but fate wasn't kind. A leg injury ended his dream forever. Each night, under the dim glow of an oil lamp, Dondinho shared stories of his playing days with little Edson sitting beside him. The boy listened, not with sadness, but with a fire in his eyes. He didn't pity his father. He made a silent promise. "I'll finish what you started, Dad. One day, I'll make you proud." And from that night on, he practiced endlessly. Barefoot, hungry, but never hopeless. By 10, Pelé was already a local hero. His friends called him Dico, the boy who could make the ball dance. He'd play for hours under the scorching sun, scoring goals into makeshift nets made of sticks. Sometimes they had no ball, so they'd use a mango, a can, even a fruit. But none of that mattered, because every time that ball rolled, a dream moved closer to reality. Then, fate intervened. Waldemar de Brito, a former national player, noticed the small boy playing. He stood quietly watching every move. When the game ended, he approached Pelé and said softly, "You have a gift, but gifts mean nothing without courage. Do you dare to dream, boy?" Pelé nodded. That moment changed everything. At just 14, he left home for the city of Santos, leaving behind his mother's tears and his father's hopes, carrying nothing but a small bag and an enormous dream. Life in Santos wasn't easy. The players were older, stronger, faster. They laughed at the skinny newcomer, but when the match began, their laughter died. Pelé's feet moved like music, his eyes burned with hunger. One strike, one goal, one stunned silence. The boy who came from nothing had just announced himself to Brazil. In 1958, at just 17, Pelé wore the yellow jersey of Brazil at the World Cup. No one believed he was ready. But in the semi-final, he scored 3 goals. In the final, he scored twice. One of them, a breathtaking volley that silenced the world. As the final whistle blew, the boy fell to his knees and cried. Not because he had won, but because he had kept his promise. Somewhere far away in a small village, his father listened to the radio and cried too. From that day, the world knew his name. Pelé became the face of joy, the heart of Brazil, and the symbol of what dreams could achieve. 3 World Cups, over 1,000 goals, millions inspired. He gave Brazil pride and the world a reason to believe in miracles. But even kings have their battles. Injuries tested his strength. Critics questioned his fame. There were nights when the cheers faded and only silence filled the locker room. But Pelé never gave up. Because every scar reminded him where he came from, and every drop of sweat was proof of who he had become. In 1977, the world watched as Pelé played his final match. The stadium stood still, thousands clapping, tears streaming. He smiled, raised his jersey, and whispered to the sky, "Thank you, football." And in that moment, the boy and the king became one. After retirement, Pelé became more than an athlete. He became a voice, traveling the world, visiting children, teaching them to dream beyond their limits. "Dreams have no size," he said, "only those who dare to chase them." Pelé passed away in 2022, leaving behind not just records, but a legacy of hope. Because every time a child kicks a ball, his spirit dances once more. From a barefoot boy to the king of football, Pelé's life reminds us, greatness isn't born, it's built, one dream, one step, one page at a time. Pelé taught us that no dream is too small, and no beginning too humble. He showed us that success isn't about fame, it's about faith, courage, and heart. This is Pages of Life, where every story reminds us to keep dreaming, keep believing, and keep turning the pages of life.